to Recollections May Vary, a royal recap. I'm Kinsey Schofield. Talk about the other props you mentioned. Meghan is facing fresh accusations that she is ruthlessly, expertly curating her kids' online profiles for maximum brand value. That's a mouthful. After releasing a new set of half obscured images of Archie and Lily. In the same week, she expanded her growing online retail operation, like a snail, I guess, like at a snail's pace. The approach echoes a pattern observers have noted for years. Photos of the children shown, but not really, revealing them just enough to spark fascination, curiosity, and clicks. One critic familiar with Markle's digital strategy hit out, this controlled glimpse aesthetic is not about privacy, it's about maximizing value. She is making them into dream clickbait and managing them for maximum brand value. The same source argued the Duchess curates their visibility like any influencer parent managing content assets, and predicted she will soon be setting them up with their own social media accounts to make them online earners, capable of attracting small fortunes for posting branded content. Kev, I can see it too. However, that completely conflicts with their campaign to protect children from the internet. This does not feel like a path that Prince Harry would be comfortable with Meghan taking his children down.
Well, once again, Kinsey, I agree with you. And you get the feeling that Harry is not at all keen on this utilisation of their children to sell as ever products. But he has to do what he's told. And in terms of the kids, it's almost a rigid pattern. We've talked about it before. Picture appears back of the kids' heads on Instagram, maybe a video. Oh, here they are, pumpkins. Oh, it's Thanksgiving. Back of their heads. Oh, look, they're in a kitchen. 24 hours later, almost rigidly, 24 hours later, some kind of sales pitch will emerge. So put the kids out there. Get the interest going. 24 hours later, there's a sale on as ever. Or I've got a new product, more wine on as ever. She uses those kids to sell products. And you're right, as and when she feels that their faces can be seen, I think she probably sees a pot of gold there. So it can only get worse. And it's not a pleasant spectacle. I don't think it's right. And I can only imagine that Harry, who I think is genuinely worried about online harm to kids, who genuinely worries about the effect of social media on young people, I can't imagine he's at all pleased about this exploitation of his own children. Meghan says she's worried about online harm to children. She says she's worried about the effect of social media on young people. But is she really? Is she really? Or is it just another one of these do-gooder things she says? You decide, Kinsey, you decide.
Yeah, it reminds me of Tina Brown talking about how Meghan just jumps from cause to cause based on what's trending, what the hashtag is. And that's all I've always felt like that was just written so perfectly to describe Meghan Markle. If she was really that concerned with social media, would she be on it on a personal level? I understand As Ever having placement on there, and occasionally we'd get a peek at Meghan through the As Ever channel because that's her business. But Meghan's personal insistence on having a presence, which I feel like was very detrimental to her this year, while looking at the year as a whole and what's gone wrong and what's gone right, a lot more wrong than right this year.
Gonna say.
I felt like the introduction, the reintroduction to Meghan on social media was not something ultimately that benefited her. It allowed us to see how truly selfish and self-consumed and shallow and vapid she is.
Yeah, she has Tina Brown's right. She leaps from cause to cause to cause, whatever's trending, whatever will get the most clicks. But her main cause is the promotion of Meghan Markle. That's the central cause. That's what she's really interested in doing. And if she can come up with some kind of do-gooder purpose in order to promote herself, she will do just that. And I mean, her narcissism, it seems to me to be growing by the day. As I said the other week, seems to me, in that interview with Harper's Bazaar, You know, oh, Harry loves me so much. He loves me more than anyone else in the world. His love for me is bold. He's always got my back because he loves me so much. Never once did she mention her love for him, because I somehow doubt it exists. I think she doesn't have real room for any love in her life apart from her love for herself, because that is all consuming. Everybody in her life is a bit part player in the Meghan Markle story. It's almost like she's acting her own biopic. She's starring in her own ongoing biopic, which she believes will have a joyous, triumphant and happy ending. I'm not so sure the way things are going.
That's so funny that you say that, because there is an article out there right now that accuses Prince Harry of basically digitally, kind of appropriate for this topic, digitally stalking Meghan and falling in love with her on social media before they actually met. And we know parts of this story, although when anyone sits me down and says, "How did Meghan and Harry meet?" I go, "Which version do you want?" Because
Yeah.
several versions of this meeting. But in Spare, he says, I stumbled upon her on Instagram and messaged my friend. And, but there's an article that's been circulating over the last 4 days. And it accuses Harry of stalking Meghan online and falling in love with this online persona she created around the TIG and around Suits. And again, we're all our best versions of ourselves online. And I sent it to someone in the know, and I said, well, that's an interesting theory that would just potentially justify to me the fact that he was willing to turn away so quickly when it came to her bad behavior. Was he
Yeah.
fixated with her and this version of her that he, had found on the internet? And my friend in the know replied, this sounds like a story that Meghan Markle would put out there, that Meghan Markle would plant, that Harry stalked her online before they met, that he developed these intense feelings for her and was telling friends around him, if I could just get a chance, I know she's the right one for me. And I thought, yeah, I can absolutely see her planting that story. There's a couple of weird things going on. I mean, I want to Victoria Jackson and that friendship. This is a woman that can't stand her husband. Dickie Arbiter told me Meghan insisting on being referred to Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. He said that's the incorrect title. That's the title for a woman that is divorced or a woman that's widowed. So is Meghan privy to that information and that protocol, or is she planning for something? We talk all the time about the Vanity Fair article where the lawyers approved the paragraph about someone from Meghan's team shopping a post-divorce book. Thanks so much for watching.